Hey there. So this evening I want to continue our journey through the decans. Uh, this is fun. I haven't, this is something I'm exploring along with anyone that might be watching. So we are currently in Libra right here with the Justice card. And also the Empress card, because the ruling planet of Libra is Venus, and the corresponding tarot card for Venus is the Empress. Okay, so I did a video about the first decan, and then moving on. Where is Libra? Sorry. If I put marks on this, I'll have marks on each line. So we have Libra with the Justice. Just hold this up. So we have Libra with Justice. Sorry for the lighting. Oh, it's better. What to do? Okay, Libra with Justice, ruled by Venus, and that would correspond to the Empress card. Now we just left, we are currently still in the first deck, and it actually ends today. And that was with the Two of Swords. Right, so we had those three cards. Now, as of tomorrow, we segue into the second decan of Libra. Now, the Justice card and the Empress card remain the same, but we shift to the second decan, and the second decan of Libra, the sign of Libra, runs from October 3rd until the 12th. The second decan is ruled by Aquarius, and that card is the Three of Swords. Okay, so there is a progression, and the ruling planet of that decan is Uranus. Now let's find Uranus here. And it's right down here with Aquarius, and the card for that is the Fool. And not to leave anything out, the card that is connected to the sign Aquarius is the Star. So I wanted to play around with this whole line of thought. So one constant we have through the sign of Libra is the Justice card, and Venus for the Empress card. I do love this Justice card, the depiction here, because it very much speaks to Ace of Swords, but firmly placed in the ground, while at different times the balance might be tipped to one side or the other. The goal is always to achieve that balance, and the sword in the ground is that being a resolute goal. What I love, though, because justice can sound a bit dry and unfeeling, because the sign of Libra, ruled by Venus, picks up the Empress. There is a feeling of justice with compassion. Now we just left we're leaving the Two of Swords energy, which feels very, and looks very, in this card especially, very reflective and pulled back, and a bit in protective stance, not really barring any interactions, but just not pushing through to action. But then we move from there. We're moving into the Three of Swords, which is, you know, I will be frank, I'm never overly excited when the Three of Swords comes up in a read. It's for anyone, well, especially for me. But I was thinking this evening about the Three of Swords and the Two of Swords, where the two is the holding back and reflection and protecting oneself. But the three, especially with the ace, the resolute ace down the center, speaks to, and I see that reflected in the Justice card, speaks to pushing forward despite the anguish, despite the fear, despite whatever one's despite might be, pushing through the door. I actually was thinking, and this is not the Three of Wands, but I was thinking about the Three of Wands in the Rider-Waite, where at the Two of Wands, the figure is standing at the threshold, but is like still, it's in pause, waiting to go through. But the three is making that step. And so I think of, I actually am appreciative to think new thoughts about this card. So to move forward despite. All right. Now, there are two other cards that get absorbed into this decan, so it becomes, well, having made a choice to move forward, and the swords, I would say, it might be speaking a truth, acknowledging a truth. Yeah, we have the Fool card and the Star. Now the Star is the card that represents the sign of Aquarius, which is the sign that rules the second decan of Libra, and it's a promise of. Now the Star, of course, the Star in the chronology of the major arcana comes after the Tower, and we don't see a tower here, maybe a minor tower, and having the bravery to step forward in some regard. But the Star is a promise that that the bravery will be the bravery that it takes, that there is support around before, during, and after, and that it is like stepping, oh my goodness, nudity. Not that I had 9 subscribers, so I don't think it's going to be a huge deal, but let me just put a finger over her boobs. Okay. Just in case. All right, here we go. There is something very washed clean about the Star energy, something very, something raw, not in a bad way, raw as having undergone and come out fresh. And I always think a lot about the butterfly, you know, drying its wings in the sun, though the sun card is more of that. But just the healing, the light, the love that comes from those despite actions. Okay, and then let me see. I think this one, Uranus, is that correct? This one, make sure I'm misspeaking here. I'm still going, oh yes. So the second decan is ruled by the planet Uranus. And that is the Fool card. Now, the planet Uranus can be a bit disruptive, but I find, but not like a tower disruptive. It's kind of organized disruption. But let's just looking at the cards. When I say organized disruption, I don't feel that the Three of Swords is always a card that is inflicted upon a situation. In fact, much like a tower, sometimes we just draw in, and that need to have something shift. Now, that shifting might come from inner propulsion, which I really feel like that's more the case here, or come, you know, from outer propulsion. But I think generally when we have those moments of shifts that are, yeah, not overly comfortable, but ultimately for the good, it's because we need some sort of reset, some sort of fresh start. So I'm going to leave that there for now, and I just thought I might expand on the message. I just maybe pull an oracle card or two and see. You know, I think I'm going to get one from angels and ancestors, because my goodness, if we're making a shift, let's call on the angels as much as we can, and our ancestors as well. I must say, in this past span of time, the first decan of Libra, my dreams have been so very vivid, and I have had dreams of a lot of people who have passed, mainly family, people that have, but always people that have been important, be they friends. I mean, I did dream of Brad Pitt and Sting, and these were not you know, salacious dreams, but I was really surprised to see them there. Anyway, but so I think that there might be some messages from our past to consider, our past loves, our, you know, Sting was not my past love, but I wouldn't, yeah, I always thought young Sting was quite nice. He seems like a nice person. And you know what? Brad Pitt as well. Everyone has their stuff, but anyway. Not to talk about celebrity. Here we go. I'm sorry. I digress. Here we go. Something for us from our ancestors, angels, guides, passed on celebrities. Wait. High Priestess, harness mystic power. And actually, I like that here. We have resolute justice and balance, tempered and guided by compassion. And I love the drawing on the inner high priestess, the inner wisdom. I think that's the star above her head. And also, because it's time now, you notice this, the Empress sits kind of holding the energy, keeping the energy in check. She does feel a bit like, almost like a tree. You know how trees just hold the energy, and there's a hum to trees, especially really, really old ones. The High Priestess, I think, pushes forward a bit, pushes that energy forward, as this card suggests we might be encountering during the next 10-ish days. We'll see, right? See how it works out. We'll see how it works out. And lastly, I will get just an angel card. Sorry. Just a little bit of angel advice. And there's Archangel Gabriel. You will soon receive some positive news. The channels for clear and honest communication are now open. Keep an open heart and speak your truth lovingly, without fear. And I have to say, that fits so well. It fits well with this card and this one about moving forward into the unknown, but know that to do so with, and acknowledge the fear, but do it anyway, because the angels have you. All right, I'll leave it there. Thank you, and have a great second decan of Libra. I might I'm actually thinking of doing a few other readings between now and the third decan, as time permits, but mwah to you.